Dear Daniel Craig, life did not always look like this. This marked a moment of triumph, a way of crushing an abysmal past and daring those with a stereotypical view of those with mental illness to challenge me on any front. To many, this was just a documentary. For me and Missy, this was our lives.
Haha, very funny. You know I could use the help.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been as funny, though.
That's it. You guys ready? You know once we get in that car, there's no turning back. This was your idea.
Maybe, but you were the one who went running and jumping into the deep end of the pool without looking.
Would I have it? Would I be any other way? She thinks she's got the world on a string.
You know I'm wrong.
I love you.
I know what you're thinking. Now who is this and why is she so important? Really, a buddy biopic about two women? Who cares? Didn't we see Romy and Michelle already? This is not Romy and Michelle. This is about me, Amy, and my best friend Missy, and how we survived my bipolar breakdowns. That's right, 2 breakdowns. And went on to fulfill a lot of dreams that at this time seemed too far away to even contemplate.
We'll be commuting every day into Austin for work. It's going to be really hard on the car, you know.
We came out here to make contacts.
At least we don't have to get jobs right away.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
We're good until the end of the month. We don't need jobs until the end of November.
This is insane. We can't do this. I'm going to call my dad and have him come get us.
No, don't panic. I got it all figured out. We can do groceries for $20 a week, 5 nights of spaghetti, 2 nights of hot dogs. It's okay.
I don't know. What if the car breaks down?
Public transportation.
I don't know.
We came down here to make a name for ourselves. So, you still want that, don't you?
Yeah, but not while starving to death.
We're not gonna starve to death. I've done this before.
Made a movie without a pot to piss in.
Lived on the bare essentials. Besides, my Aunt Rosie's is down here. We're okay.
Are you sure?
Positive.
All right, let's get unpacked. But the first time that it gets hard, I'm crying uncle. I can't believe I left the headlights on.
Let's just go ask someone if they have jumper cables.
Nobody's gonna have jumper cables. I'm pretty sure we're the only ones that drove in.
I'm gonna go ask someone if they have jumper cables. And if not, I'll call a tow truck.
I don't want to do that.
It's hot. I'm tired. We have an hour to drive. What do you propose?
Do whatever you want.
Excuse me. Do you happen to have any jumper cables?
No, I jetted in. Did anyone else drive?
Hi, yes, I'm gonna need a tow truck. I think we are at, the Ramada. That one, yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just felt stupid for leaving the headlights on.
I should have stuck around and talked you down.
Well, now that we're both sorry, we should probably get back in the car.
I would not believe the attitude of people around here.
Think again. Remember what Uncle Bert says. We're amongst them.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I can't sleep. I can't relax. I feel right.
When did you finally drift off?
An hour ago?
Oh, honey, you've got to go get that checked out. I'm worried about you.
We still have to fill out job applications.
Yes, you should go today.
Dear Daniel, down in Texas, Missy and I both had our issues interfering with how we function daily in the beginning. Hers are not mine to share, as she's asked me not to. But mine, we were both soon to discover, could bring even the smartest of the smart and the strongest of the strong to their knees.
Go get cleaned up and we'll go out and fill out applications.
Dear Daniel Craig, sometimes the devil has a way of snaking its way out of the past and breaking you the rest of the way down.
Hey, Daddy? Yeah, it's me.
What you doing?
Just working. Missy and I are running low on grocery money, and we would really like to have a Thanksgiving, so I was just wondering if you could maybe send some money.
No.
Why not?
You shouldn't have moved down there to begin with. So no, I'm not going to give you the money.
What's wrong? I'm so hungry. Why don't you eat some tortilla things?
Hey, whoa. Hey, listen, I just got my money back from my car settlement, from my car accident. How much money do you need?
I can't do that.
Please. I know what it's like to be in your situation. Let me help you. Right.
Hey, are you okay? What's going on?
I called Jerry and he basically said that he didn't care if we were hungry. He didn't care if we had a Thanksgiving, and he said we should have never moved down here.
He's a jerk. Shows what he knows.
Just pay me back when you can. There's no pressure. Okay?
I will as soon as I can.
No pressure.
It wasn't just the hunger. The rejection was too much. The noise, the lights, people's voices. Even when I went home, I couldn't turn it off. I hadn't lost my mind, but I could feel myself losing my grip on my sanity. It was as if I were hanging on by my fingernails, and road signs to Crazyville were getting closer and closer, and I couldn't slow down. And then, finally, it happened. I broke. Some days, even when your rock is less than perfect, you find that the fire you're in shows just how great she really is.
If you need a friend, I am here for you. I understand.
I don't know what you want me to do. You cry all the time. I try to comfort you, but it's like you want me to keep talking, but you want me to shut up too.
It's like my skin is coming off. And my thoughts, they're racing so fast. I can't keep up.
I'm suffering too, you know. You're not the only one.
It's like my mind is coming apart and I can't get it to come together.
It's like you're down at the bottom of this dark well and I've thrown a rope down to you to pull you up, but instead you've just yanked me down in there with you. Maybe we should just go home.
No. You wanted to come here and I bought into it. To go home now would be to admit failure.
What are we supposed to do, Amy? We're living on $15 worth of groceries a week. The head gasket is blown in the car. We're walking everywhere we go. We have no internet. And we can't even afford pen and paper to write with.
I'm trying. I am trying so hard. You want me to take you down to Bill Miller's and show you the conditions I work in? It triggers this. It triggers everything. Whatever this is.
Don't take whatever this is out on me. I didn't do anything.
What? You talked me into coming here and now you're going to run back to Mommy and Daddy.
You know, that's the first thing you accuse me of every time we argue.
I'm such a lousy friend. Why do you stick around?
Because people argue, Amy. But if you think there's seriously something wrong with you, you've got to go get it checked out. Now, you have got to go to work. So go get cleaned up, get dressed, and get to the villa.
So now you're telling me what to do. Sit and spin.
In retrospect, I was horrible to deal with. Missy was human at times, but that just proves how great she was, and still is.
You should have seen us on the way down here. We couldn't even see out of the back window.
Now, what on earth made you come all the way out here?
We wanted to make a movie, but we couldn't afford to move to LA, and Amy bought passes to the Austin City Film Festival. We couldn't get a refund.
You sound homesick.
Yeah, I am. I miss my dad. My parents weren't too jazzed about us moving so far away from home.
And I suppose the stress of needing money for food so you can have a simple Thanksgiving meal seems like a lot.
I think it's more than just that. Amy's been having a really hard time lately. She goes on these crying jags. She explodes without warning. She's so angry and so paranoid these days. She's not the happy Amy that I remember from Kentucky.
I have a lot of people like Amy in my family. Good-hearted, compassionate, even talented people. Sometimes aren't at their best.
I think it's more than just Amy not being at her best. I think something's really wrong.
Well, do you have anyone down here that can help?
Just her Aunt Rosie.
Now you have me too.
The wolf had arrived.
Amy?
Missy.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay. No, it's okay. Honey.
But you said the car was useless.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. I drove it anyway.
What if it breaks down?
We'll just call Aunt Rosie.
To call the mental health system broken in Texas is redundant, but I had reached maximum overload. I was consumed with blind rage. I wasn't going to hurt myself. I wasn't going to hurt Missy or anyone else. But the pain. I needed the pain to stop.
Amy McCorkle?
So why are you here tonight?
I need help. I feel like my skin is going to come off.
I was lonely. I was jittery. I was terrified. I hadn't lost my mind, but I desperately wanted help.
What's your family history?
My sister had a bipolar disorder. My cousin and her nephew. My grandfather. We all struggle from mental illness.
How do you feel now?
Numb.
Any anger or rage?
Yeah, earlier I've been on these 8-hour crying jags.
Do you feel like you're gonna hurt yourself or others?
No.
Any abuse of prescription pills or narcotics?
No.
Any alcohol abuse?
No. My biological dad had a PTSD disorder. He abused alcohol.
Any sexual activity?
No. Can you just make this pain stop?
It's gonna be okay.
She thinks you're manic depressive. I, however, do not. I think this is something you've been obsessing on. I believe that it's all in your head.
This is not the correct way to speak to a mental health patient.
So what I want you to do now is calm down and move on.
You're not okay, are you?
No.
Do you want me to find somewhere else to go?
A head gasket?
We do what we have to do.
I can't do this anymore. I'm losing it. Look how I'm treating you. I'm treating myself.
If you need to go now, let's go. I know it's not ideal, but if we're going to take a serious go at coming down here, then you probably should let me take you tonight.
I just wish you didn't have to go.
Yeah, who's going to take care of us now? Take us out for Mexican pastries and cocoa at Lapidosa's? Or here?
You'll manage. Your girls will make it, I know it.
Right now, that feels a million miles away.
The Lord gave you both a very special gift.
And how come I haven't been able to write squat for the last few months?
It's all in the timing, Amy. You can't rush these things.
Right now, I'm working with people that judge small children with special needs.
I told you if you went to dinner with them, you would hate them.
What can I say? They're jerks.
You know what Dad says. If you're not going to listen, you're going to have to feel.
As long as we can put food on the table that's not spaghetti and hot dogs, and we can afford real cheese, I mean, we're not going hungry anymore.
That's a good point.
You know, Aunt Rosie, I don't know where we'd be. Was it for you?
I would never let my nieces go hungry.
You consider me your niece?
You have been such a support for Amy, even going through your own troubles. Of course I consider you my niece. I love you both very, very much.
You can't imagine what that means to me.
Well, maybe not, but let's just enjoy our coffee at this beautiful coffee house. I smell cocoa.
Dear Daniel, I think it's fair to say this was one of my darkest moments. I had no idea who I was or where I was, desperate for a light to shine in the dark.
Crap! You scared me.
Missy,
What's wrong?
I know I'm supposed to go to work today, but I'm scared. I know your name, but I don't know my name. Can you call in for me? Please?
It's okay. I'll call.
Missy was my rock. She still is. When my family fails to understand exactly what we went through in Texas, they get jealous. But the fear and the pain of disorientation because of the anxiety and mania was difficult to explain. When they're derisive and call her Saint Missy, it angers me because, as you can plainly see, she went through a lot with me. I didn't know whether to be scared or relieved. I was alone. Missy had to work, so this had been the only way to return and get a proper diagnosis. I was scared. What if I was sent running in circles again? What if the Texas mental health system failed me miserably? In truth, it already had. But I held out hope that this time would be different.
Do you have a vending machine in there or something?
Go ahead, have a seat. We'll get you something.
Amy? Yeah. You do follow me?
Took a lot of bravery and courage to come here. We're going to get you some help. It's going to be okay. We do have a diagnosis. You have rapid cycling manic depression. It's going to be okay. You're not afraid. And help is here for you.
Help will never come.
I want you to take this. We're for bed for 3 days. But I want you to add the Zoloft.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be okay. Coming here was the first step.
What are you doing here?
Well, I know you and Amy have been struggling, so I figured I'd help out a little bit more. Is she here?
No, she's at the doctor's.
I thought you guys were having car troubles.
She took the bus. Come on in. Don't just stand there.
Is Amy sick?
Yeah, but it's not what you think.
Is everything okay?
No. No, it's not okay. We came down here with not enough money. We're hungry every day. And Amy's fallen apart. She's really sick, Patrick. She's at a psychiatrist's office. If they can't help her, I don't know what we're gonna do.
It's gonna be okay now.
We look like Cindy Lou Who's house after the Grinch was there.
Whatever. At least we have, a place to live. We have a Christmas tree. We have Christmas presents. We have each other. And tomorrow night we're gonna have a Christmas dinner.
I wanted a bigger Christmas tree. 6 feet tall, icicles, cheap tacky ornaments.
You have a 2-foot version of that now.
Friends to celebrate with.
You have me!
I know, and as bad as I feel, without you, I'd be miserable.
Who are you kidding? You're already miserable.
Miserable wasn't the word for how I was feeling. I felt like I was in traction and someone had thrown me down that deep dark well again, only this time there was no light at all, and there was no escape.
You know what would make me feel better? Presents.
It's Christmas Eve. We don't open the Christmas presents until Christmas Day.
But Daniel, in this darkness that was consuming me, this act was the biggest mistake in the world. Everything was from Mom and John. As grateful as we were, there was the overwhelming depression for me that I had nothing to give to Missy. After all she had done for me, in standing by me as a friend when most normal people would have run, I had nothing to celebrate her with.
Merry Christmas.
I was afraid of that. Look, they paid for our rent this month. They could have done nothing at all.
Yeah, I know, I can't help it.
That'll be $12.56.
$12.56 plus tip. It's all there. Merry Christmas.
Well, you got your Christmas tradition.
I'm really gonna miss you guys.
We're really gonna miss you too.
You should just go ahead and kiss. Over with.
You know what? Amy's right. I didn't want to say anything, but I really, really wish you weren't moving back to Kentucky.
I can't do it alone with just my paycheck, and Amy can't seem to hold down a job.
Hey.
It's not a criticism, it's just a statement of fact. And you're not exactly Daddy Warbucks, so we have to go where the help is.
Well, guess another time in another place, huh?
You know there is such a thing as a phone. And you could move closer to us.
Missy, there's gonna come a time where you're gonna need me more than ever. And when that time does come, I'm gonna be here for you.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
All right.
I don't want to talk about it.
Look, this was your idea. I said I was willing to stay.
I need help. I need money. I can't hold a job down. The job that I had fired me. This is defeat.
Watch your mouth.
No, I'm trying to be respectful. He came down here and got us when my parents couldn't. Your parents got us an apartment. They furnished it. They put groceries in the fridge. I can't help but think this last year was in vain. No movie, no contacts. Everyone that wanted us to fail got what they wanted.
You can't think that way.
How am I supposed to think?
Like you're gonna get the help you need. Like you're finally gonna have people who understand.
But they don't, Missy. If they did, they would be here, not your dad.
Cut them some slack, honey. They tried to visit us on their summer vacation.
Maybe.
The money just wasn't there.
At least we'll have our own place.
Yeah, thanks to my mom and dad.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I couldn't bear to go back to my house. It was so tense last time.
I mean, that's to be expected. He was there, you were there, 4 cats, me. It was a complete zoo.
Maybe it'll be good to go home for a few days and be with Mom. She can help me get the services I need. Whatever I need.
It's gonna be okay, Amy, I promise.
Ready to ride?
Yeah.
In a few days, I'll be connected to everything. Wasn't an epic failure, was it?
It was epic, but it wasn't even close to a failure, honey.
I'll call you tomorrow.
What is she even doing here? I didn't think she was coming home from Texas. Like, what's wrong with her anyway?
I have a mental illness. Thanks for the sympathy, sis.
I don't have time for this. I'm going to bed.
Why? Because I make you uncomfortable? Get in line and take a number.
Amy.
I just drove 20 hours from Texas. People judging me, looking at me, people I know, people I work with. I'm not taking it from her.
She's your sister, Amy. She's your flesh and blood.
I don't regret moving to Texas. I didn't want to move back here.
Come here. Come here. Close your eyes and go to sleep. Gail Sublett gave me some numbers to call tomorrow. Sleep as late as you need to. We'll get this figured out.
I don't understand when she comes over here why all she does is sleep. I love her dearly, but that's wasting a day. And I hate saying this, but she just seems so lazy.
Mom, she's sick. She's depressed, and depressed people sleep sometimes.
Sick? No, being sick is like having a fever or throwing up or having a cold. She looks pretty healthy to me.
Mama, she has a chemical imbalance that makes her feel this way. She's just as sick as, say, you having diabetes.
You know, I just don't understand it.
Dear Daniel, my Mama was a God-fearing and God-loving woman whose faith was the strongest thing I'd ever seen. It always made me sad to hear her talk that way. I knew it was just ignorance. I knew that she was just a product of her time. But I had a choice. I usually stayed there while Missy worked at a nearby elementary school because I couldn't handle being alone. As ignorant as my Mama could be, she was also the kind of woman that if you put a face on it, she'd eventually open her mind to it.
Oh, this is awesome.
This is awesome, yes. Third place.
Dear Daniel, to say those first few months back in Kentucky weren't easy is something of an understatement. We handle things much better now, but I think that's in part because we don't have the pressure of being broke looming over us constantly, along with the worst of the illness having us in its vice-like grip.
You're not the only one who made sacrifices down there.
You weren't the only one. I was fired. You weren't fired for the same reasons I was. You were the pet employee. In fact, you stayed on.
What was I supposed to do? We have to pay rent. We have bills.
I don't know. Show some loyalty. Walk out in solidarity. Instead, you let their treatment of me be justified.
You're being unreasonable.
I'm not being unreasonable.
Yes, you are. And keep your voice down. Yelling.
I'm not yelling.
Indeed, I was yelling.
You need to calm down, Amy.
How's that gonna help? We went to Texas to make a movie. We cast 3 people and it falls apart. How is that a success?
You're looking at it the wrong way.
The wrong way. Are all the other people wrong? Are the people that were rooting against us wrong? Jerry, Myra, the others too, are they wrong?
You need to stop yelling.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Missy. Oh my God.
It's okay, Amy.
Did I break something of yours? Is that mine?
You didn't. Come on, we gotta get this cleaned up.
I know I call you my hero, Daniel, and that my family wants equal billing. But they haven't got the first clue as to how much Missy went through with me. If anyone has earned the right to be called my hero, it's Missy. Mama always loved the fact I wrote stories.
You know, Josephine wrote stories, good ones, just like you do.
Thanks, Mama.
But what I don't understand is why you come over here and sleep all day.
It's part of the disease. I just don't like being alone. It's overwhelming.
You know, your Papa Griswold had something like that. But you know what? He got saved and it cured the problem. Maybe you don't need meds. Maybe you just need saved.
I often kept my faith to myself. I believed in the sense of a higher power, the universe is in a capital U. But Mama, as strong as her faith was, came attached to Christianity.
Trust me, Mama. I need my meds. Trust me, it was worse. It was so much worse.
You know what? James was such a good, strong man. I see so much of him in you.
Oh, I love you too, Mama.
Just keep writing, Amy.
Would you read anything that I write?
Is there any blackguarding in it?
What's that?
Any cursing or premarital sex stuff?
And you probably would not read anything that I write.
No, probably not.
Not even to tell your friends that your granddaughter's an author.
Maybe. I'd have to think about that. But maybe you can write something without that stuff in it.
Maybe.
God rest her soul. She was always trying to save mine. Sincerely, Amy McCorkle.
Quit being paranoid.
Dear Daniel, I was.
I'm not. I like things done right and I want them right now.
Amy, you know you're my friend. I love you more than a sister. But I told you that you're going to make a mistake if you rush into production.
Then what was the point of the auditions today?
I tried to tell you not to do it before we had our ducks in a row, but you went ahead.
This is something that hasn't really changed over the years. I still make her crazy with this. We just handle it a whole hell of a lot better.
You told me? What am I, your child? If we moved at your pace, we wouldn't get anything done.
You know, if you weren't determined to act like a child, going and running and jumping into the end of the swimming pool without knowing if there's water in it, I wouldn't have to act like a parent. I don't want to be your mother. I want to be pleasant.
I want to control a lot of my life. What I eat, where I go, my projects. You know, we don't write like we used to.
Amy, we're friends. We don't have to write to be friends.
Writing is what our friendship is about. Without that, what do we have?
I would come to learn those were the words that hurt her the most up until that point.
Screw you, Amy. I've been through a lot of shit with you. Stuff that lesser and better people would not have stuck around for. For you to say something like that to me? That just hurts.
Get off the cross. Someone needs the wood.
You know, for somebody who wants to be shown sensitivity for them and their issues, you can act like a real witch.
You sound just like my dad. Take a number.
You can't admit when you're wrong. The entire time I've known you, you've never admitted when you were wrong.
Yes, I do. I say I'm sorry and that I'm wrong all the time just to please you.
Now who's on the cross?
I'm just saying it like it is.
Get over yourself, Amy.
What I said next was terrible, awful, and inexcusable. It was not the first time I'd said it, but it was the last time I uttered such ugly words.
If you don't shut up, I'm gonna kill you. I'm so sorry, Missy. Oh my god, don't. I'm so sorry.
Amy, you know I love you. Because if anybody else talked to me like that, I'd beat their ass.
Love you too.
More than your luggage?
More than my luggage. Just wanted to rinse away that terrible Christmas from Texas.
Alright. I didn't have much to get you, but I hope you like it.
New York? Together, right?
Absolutely. And here is another one.
Oh my god! A Jane Austen action figure? Where'd you find this?
I went down to that Something Better store in the mall looking for a Gladiator standee, but they didn't have one. They had this, William Shakespeare, and some other author I can't remember. Alright, and one last one.
Oh my god, where did you find these?
Big Lots.
I fucking love Big Lots.
Amy, wake up. They called Dad into the hospital.
Did they find a river?
Yeah, Mom and Dad are on their way now. I've got to go pick up Shannon and Jessica and take them with me.
Do you want me to come with you?
No, I don't have time right now. I'll call you when I know something. Just please make sure the brakes get fixed on the car today, okay?
Okay. Call me if there's any new information.
I will.
Harold had always seemed as strong as an ox to me, and everyone around him. Missy understood how sick he was, but I don't think I fully appreciated it until he was called into the hospital.
Hello?
He's in ICU.
Is he okay?
He's stable for the moment.
Are you okay?
During the surgery, I had to get up and walk away from everyone and calm myself down. I felt like something really bad was happening.
You know, I had a feeling of calm come over me. Things are gonna be okay.
I wish you could see him. I'm not used to seeing my dad like that.
We lived on very little money. Getting the brakes done was a necessity. It was supposed to cost $99, and when you're in the middle of a crisis, it's like the universe says, let's pile it on.
Hey, can you hold on? I have to pay for the brakes. Excuse me.
Yes.
How much?
Your rotors were bad. It's going to be $291.
My heart fell into my feet.
Missy, they said the brakes are going to be $291.
How much do we have?
$292.
Oh.
I could hear the weariness in her voice, the ache in her tone. This wasn't something she needed right now. She needed to focus on her father, on her family, on being together and taking care of one another.
Pay it. We'll figure out everything else later.
You sure?
It's the brakes. Can't really cut corners on that.
Okay. I'll talk to you later.
Missy's mom and dad gave her the money to get us through. It was one of the last things he did. Sincerely, Amy McCorkle.
Amy! Wake up! Amy, it's your dad!
Dear Daniel, allow me to clarify here that John is my stepdad, but he's raised me from 3 years of age. He's a good man.
Missy called. I think her dad died.
Nobody called me.
You didn't answer.
In the time of my friend's greatest need, I'd been lulled to sleep by Ambien. Trust me, after that I stopped taking it. Missing out on my friend's SOS wasn't worth another pill.
Missy?
Yeah?
Did you try to call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad died. died, Amy.
I know, sweetie.
No worries. The wolf was on her way. Dear Daniel, I wish I could say death was easy for me, that I could handle the messy emotions that come with it with the grace and aplomb that others around me have. But on the morning of Harold's funeral, I found myself reeling and coping with the fact that the surgeons with Coda had treated Missy's family as an afterthought, had grown frustrated with the difficulty of the course of Harold's treatment, and that they handled him roughly. It angered and saddened me that he was gone. I knew that he liked me because he'd given me the nickname of Amos. He'd been gone less than a week, and I missed him already. No more University of Kentucky football or basketball games, no more cookouts, no more visits where I could talk, and he would listen.
Have you seen him yet?
You're still getting the room ready? I didn't think I should be the first one to see him. I thought you and your mom and your sister should.
Will you go with me?
Of course.
But as hard for me as death is, and as sad as I was over the loss of Harold, nothing compared to the devastation I saw in my best friend's face, and the grief in her mother's and sister's eyes. It wasn't his face that didn't look right to me, but his body that was all wrong. But after several surgeries, multiple procedures, and daily dialysis, it wasn't a surprise to me. But I understood this wasn't my father. His death hadn't blindsided me. My hope hadn't been robbed of me and snuffed out so coldly and callously. Missy had the right to be angry and grieving. She had and still does have the right to feel any way she wants to about the loss of her father.
Pam.
I didn't know him, but you're my friend, and I felt like I needed to pay my respects.
Thank you, Pam. You don't know how much that means.
In this grief, you find out who your real friends are. The ones who find the time to come and at least pay their respects, even when showing vulnerability isn't in their comfort zone. Pam is in the inner circle for a reason. Missy was and still is a nurturer, a caretaker. I and many others have been the benefactor of that. I know it doesn't seem like it, but that streak goes both ways for us.
Honey, why don't you go to lunch with Pam?
And leave before the funeral? How tacky is that? You need me to be strong for you. And I know when my parents pass, I want you to be strong for me. I don't want you going off having lunch with another friend.
You're having a panic attack right now, right?
Yes.
Focus on taking care of yourself. That's what you can do for me right now.
Dear Daniel, even God rested on the seventh day. With Missy, in the wake of her father's death, everyone had been leaning on her, even me to some degree. Well, the crap was about to hit the fan in a very big way.
How's your day?
You should know. You blew my phone up all day.
Did not.
Do you want me to show you where you did it?
No. But I can only do so much writing and promoting.
You could volunteer. We've talked about that.
I don't have a car.
That's a cop-out. I told you we'd figure it out.
You can't help me. I don't have a golden ticket to Mom and Dad.
Are we feeling a little bit sorry for ourselves today? How was your day?
Apparently I blew up your phone.
Amy, I can't do this right now.
Fine. I wrote, promoted, and watched some television.
And blew up my phone.
Screw you.
I should have been paying attention to what she was doing. Harold had died the day before Christmas Eve. What a crap deal. Missy deserves to have a dad seeing her succeed now. I digress. I should have been paying attention to what she was doing. She had yet to express her grief in an all-out, ball-out, get-the-fuck-out-of-my-way vent. Boy, did I know how to push that button. Especially that night, without saying a word. You know that moment when you realize you've messed up big time? Not enough to evoke a volcanic eruption, but enough so that if there are other things going on, there's going to be a volcanic eruption. There's that flight or fight that's supposed to kick in. Well, I wasn't smart enough to heed that.
What the hell, Amy?
What?
Did you call Canada? How long did you talk to her?
10, 15 minutes? I don't know.
Try 40 minutes!
Sorry, I thought it was shorter.
You have to be kidding me. There's a big difference between 10 and 40. I told you not to make international calls.
It's at this point I realize Missy is about to lose her mind for a little bit, and there's not a single thing I can do about it. So I get still and get very quiet.
Money? Do you think I told you not to make international calls?
She is getting wound up, and there's nothing I can say or do. Although I have the worst habit. When I'm nervous or uncomfortable, I smile involuntarily, which made matters much, much worse.
You think this is funny?
Aw, there it is.
I don't need this. You pay this bill. I already take care of everyone around me. My mom, my sisters. I take care of you, and I do it all by myself. I need help. Sorry? You're sorry. Sorry doesn't cut it.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just really miss my dad. And everybody wants to tell me how much they miss him. Well, I miss him too.
I know, sweetie.
Just do me a favor. No more calls to Canada.
Okay.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm really glad that we have Patrick in our lives again.
Hey, you got me?
Don't make me punch you in your face.
Dear Daniel, there's something that happens to you when the labor of love is validated and rewarded. In February of 2011, I received my first publication contract for Another Way to Die, my James Bond meets the girl with a dragon tattoo mashup romantic thriller.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Missy. Muse accepted Another Way to Die. I'm gonna be a published author.
Congratulations.
I know I've done Lulu and all, but that's okay.
I mean, it's somebody besides your family telling you it's worthy of publication. That's a good thing. Oh, no, don't make me punch you in the face.
Missy is a private person. She's a warm person, but she's not much on getting hypomanic kisses from her out-of-control best friend. Validation. I wept for joy, for relief, for every time life had kicked me in the gut and left me to die. Dear Daniel, it had been a year since Missy and I had made the financial decision to each move back in with our parents. It enabled us to attend more events, conventions, book signings, that sort of thing. But it had been a week since the Fright Night Film Festival, and we were still in the dark about whether our screenplay had won, lost, or was sitting in a dusty bin somewhere, forgotten for all time.
Stay calm, Amy. I mean, everything with the book launch, it was one of the best times of our lives.
I know. Meeting Grant Wilson and Adrian Paul was awesome, selling all those books, and at least me and Tim have a cool story to share.
And you sold 34 books.
That too. And I graduated therapy.
That's the most important thing.
It's the thing I'm most proud of. We've come a long way since those girls who struck it out for Texas, huh?
I'm proud of you, Amy.
Let's check it just one last time, okay?
I couldn't contain the joy that was exploding from within. How long had we worked? How long had we scraped by and struggled? No, this wasn't an Oscar, and the organization of the awards ceremony was less than ideal as it had been canceled due to the death of its organizers. But there it was. A win.
Don't cry, Amy.
An honest-to-goodness win.
This is a good thing. It's a good thing.
No trophy?
Just take the win and go with it. I agree. I'm really proud of you.
I'm proud of us. We finally got one.
Knowing you, you'll have us entered to 1 million different contests by this time next year, and you'll have a trophy, plus more.
Man, Daniel, you need to know this script, this book, I can trace directly back to your work in Cowboys and Aliens. It reignited everything I loved about science fiction and westerns. As a teenager, my favorite authors were Vonnegut, Bradbury, Sue Grafton, Madeleine L'Engle, and more. Your work put me in touch with my storytelling roots, and for that, I'll always be grateful.
Yeah, I guess I better take my meds and go to bed too.
Award-winning screenwriters.
Overnight.
So much more was to come. So much more. Dear Daniel Craig, bipolar disorder and those that saw it as contagious sought to pull me under, snap me in half, break me down. Even those well-intentioned do-gooders who see therapy and medication as bad and wrong, who see mentally ill individuals as hapless and hopeless, they're wrong. I found hope in your work. A comrade in Missy, my rock when no one else understood. You two are my twin lights when this disease threatened to take me down. And treatment was what got me through. Thank you, Daniel, for your talent and your work. Thank you for everything. Sincerely, Amy McCorkle.
Thinking that I have to be somebody else, oh no. No more. I have loved everyone and everything, but I guess I forgot this little thing that's me.